Hello everyone, Al here, and today I'm going to be showing you my process on this Critical Role painting I did. This was a relatively big piece, not as big as the one that I did last time with all the characters in it, but still pretty lengthy. As you guys can see, I'm going in with the sketch pretty quickly. I did a baseline sketch and then like a bunch of sketch layers underneath that, while also doing some SketchUp setup, using the program SketchUp to set up some of the perspective, some of the furniture and things like that. Like you can see the little blue outline on the window and the table in the front and the table in the back closer to the window. I used SketchUp as a baseline for this so I could set up the perspective the way I wanted. I've been using SketchUp for a few of my other pieces. I don't think I used it in a Speedpaint yet, but it's super useful for like getting perspective right and things like that. So if you're like me and you can sometimes struggle setting up perspective, particularly with furniture and building elements, SketchUp is awesome for just doing baseline stuff like that. So this piece was obviously a Jester featured piece. I wouldn't say she's my favorite character because honestly picking a favorite character among the Mighty Nine is next to impossible. They're all such really great characters, but she's a character I really enjoy and really wanted to do sort of a specific piece to. When I am recording this video, I think on episode 41 is the one that I'm on right now, so I just finished all the stuff with Nicodranas and the trip into the snake worshipping lair with the pirates. It's been really fun, but all the Nicodranas stuff made me feel really sad for Jester when you realize, like, her backstory is very much about pretty much being by yourself all the time and being trapped in what, at least to this point, is implied to be at least one room, if not a very small space. Even though she seems to have a deep love for obviously her mom and Nicodranas as a full thing, which I find really appealing, even though she's never really gotten to fully see it. So that really got me thinking into her character and wanting to do this piece. Though admittedly, despite the fact that this piece is called Lonely Window, she admittedly doesn't look super upset about it, but I think that has to do with how Jester kind of operates. She's not somebody who's going to show you exactly how she's feeling. She's going to kind of always pretend she's cheerful and happy, even though things aren't always like that. But it was really nice to kind of imagine her space. Talking about some of the specifics of this piece now, I really wanted to do something that had really dramatic lighting to it, something that was obviously Jester themed but kind of had her by herself, and something that sort of had the ability to show the Nicodranas backdrop, I guess. So this was sort of how this piece came to be. I really liked the idea of her being up against this window. I found a good pose that I liked for it and was like, all right, let's do it. The colors were a little bit rough. I knew I wanted it to be like an orange and like this red warm to it, but making sure that that didn't get too crazy, especially since Jester has such a very specific color scheme to her. She's very blue, but her outfit tends to push towards warm because the outfit that the show generally uses in the like little biopic things tends to be this like warm light pinks and these browns with a dark blue, which are all really great color schemes, but working alongside that with like also putting in the background colors, which ends up being this like reddish orange and a lot of browns, was a little bit of a hassle to make sure that everything stood out the way it needed to, but nothing was like super duper duper like over the top. I really like the little details in this piece. I like the little dolls of Jester and her mom, which I would say kind of borderline on creepy. I don't know if my idea was that Jester had made them herself or if they had been a gift. I feel like they had been a gift. You know, I feel like it had been like a gift from one of her mom's suitors, even though like I'm pretty sure nobody was supposed to know about Jester, so maybe that's not it. so maybe her mom got him for her, you know? I feel like a lot of kids remember getting like a doll that was supposed to look like them, but maybe not one that was supposed to look like your mom, I guess. But I thought it was a cute little detail, so I ended up putting it in there. Plus, it sort of plays to Jester being a little bit on the childish side. And of course, the room is just filled with all of her sketches. There's a sketch of her mom and some of the Nicodranas backdrops. And of course, up front, there is a sketch of the Traveler and the Traveler symbol. I really like that the interpretations of the Traveler tend to be a little bit on the creepy side. Like, every time I see somebody who specifically draws the Traveler, they either look like Matt Mercer in a red or in a green cloak, or they look like super duper creepy. So I kind of liked that. So the technique you see me using right about here, where I have the grayscale picture alongside the full color picture, is a really neat Photoshop technique or tip that I found on YouTube a few days ago, where you use the proof setup to set up a full grayscale picture right next to your full color picture, so you can really get a good look on how the values are looking. I only do it for a little bit in this video because I don't like having like the full thing right there, and I'll link to the video that I learned this on, maybe in the descriptions or in the comments below, because it was super good, because I tend to be really specific with my values and making sure my values are right, and that's awesome for it because you get to see it compared to your color in real time. Now we're getting into the lighting in this piece, which was where I think I struggled the most trying to get the exact lighting that I wanted. I wanted this obviously like rim lit piece where the light is coming from like behind Jester from the window, and the room inside's a little on the darker side, and you see the darker shadow over a lot of Jester. And I admit I struggled with it a lot. I also struggled with exactly how much I wanted the light to look like it was reflecting, and there's a lot of back and forth, admittedly, with this piece. By the time I finish it, I think it starts to sort of pull out. I think sometimes I struggle with making sure shadow shapes come across as believable, so I tend to use like big shadow shapes. I also struggled with getting like the rim lighting on Jester and a few of the things up closer to the window, like the flowers and the vase. I also touched up the backdrop in the window a few times. I, at some point, completely redo the water. I just didn't feel like it was reading as well as I wanted it to, so I end up kind of scrapping that and starting over. I wanted the water to look really pretty and shiny and still far away, so I struggled with that a little bit, but I do like how it turned out in the end. So all in all, I think I really liked how this piece turned out. There's still some things that I feel like could be improved or could have come across a little bit better, but it was a lot of fun to work on, and I definitely, like I said before, miss doing like really big, nice pieces, and it's fun to be able to do them again. And there we have it. This piece is all finished. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. I had a lot of fun working on it, so I'm curious about what everyone else thinks. I'll see you guys next time. If you guys want to see more speed paints from me, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next time.